Hello YouTube and welcome back to my playthrough of GTA Vice City Stories. So on this part, we're going to be doing the robbery missions, which is the final Empire missions. So as you guys know, I try to dress up as the characters in the games that I play, cosplay a lot, and so we've tried to dress up as the different Vic Vance outfits. We've had the blue traditional Vic Vance outfit. We had the army outfit on that I dressed up on in the stream. I had his pastel suit. I had the Cuban style on also, and now here we have the robber style. I tried to recreate this to the best of my ability. My claw jacket kind of like matches it in a way, and I also used the mask that I used in the when I cosplayed in the bank robbery mission in GTA 4. But anyways, let's do this here. So this is the final mission. So robberies, I believe these pay out the best. So let's do this. Let's see exactly what these missions are like here. And hopefully these aren't too complicated, you know. Mission 1, the briefcase courier. Stop the courier's vehicle before it reaches its destination. Do not destroy it. Okay. So robbery business, you know, it's pretty much straightforward, exactly what it is. You know, you're stealing stuff. Wow, a lot of frames dropped there. Wow. Okay, yeah, okay, let's see here, where we gotta stop it before it reaches that destination. So yeah, I haven't had the frames drop this much on other missions, so there must be something about the robbery mission specifically. Okay, it's a little better now. Okay, you know, it's getting a little better now. But damn, the frames did drop a bit there. And, now, I talked about all the illegal businesses. Now, robbery, this is basically, you know, very self-explanatory on what this is. Robbery is one of the oldest crimes in human history. Also, you know, go back since, like, since basically the start of civilization, people have been getting robbed. Oh, what the? Okay, it's run me over there. We need the briefcase from the car, I think, so I can shoot up the car a little bit, probably, here.
I'm gonna play you like a band.
Okay, that's it?
The Zumba's a murder. Good film.
Take the briefcase to your business. Okay. Wow, that was pretty easy, but again, remember, that was just the first mission, so they're probably gonna get much harder over time. And I think Vic Vance's, you know, robber outfit is probably one of, like, the, one of the best, GTA, like, character outfits. You know, it's a really cool-looking, like, kind of, like, diabolical, like, outfit. There we go, 1600. Okay, we're now a larcenist. You know, that's a little bit of a wrong term. I'm gonna explain why in a moment here. Robbery, okay. Second mission, here we go. Mission 2, the money truck. Now, here's the thing about it. So, we were basically called a larcenist now. That's kind of an incorrect term. Because larceny is basically like theft. That's basically what it is. Now, people think that robbing and thieving, they think that that's exactly the same thing. What is this NPC doing here? The cops have been alerted? What? I just got out of the business. Okay. Okay, so we have to stop that truck. Okay, so now what I was saying is, here's the thing. Larceny is basically like theft, just, you know, taking stuff. Now, people mix it up. People think that robbing and thieving they think that it's the exact same thing when it's not. Man, the cops are... Wow, this is only 2-star and it's getting annoying. What? Who are these people? Okay. Now, what I was saying before I got interrupted there is that larceny is basically just like taking stuff without any kind of confrontation in it. Robbing is actually much worse. So when there's been a robbery, that is much worse than larceny because robbery actually involves actual physical confrontation and threat. So it involves force. So that's the main difference between oh, it was bikers that were protecting the it's the bikers that are transporting this. And so the biker gang is probably transporting some illegal money here. Or they might have stolen this themselves. Oh, great. What the? Okay.
Another dead cunt. I'm the law, boy.
Okay, if I can avoid... I wish I could play V-Rock. Now, if I could just avoid, fighting any cops here, because I don't want my water level to go up more. The business isn't that far away. Man, how are they able to... Why are bikers driving minivans? Yeah, that's why I shouldn't have fought the cops there. But thankfully, the business is right here. So we're pretty much done. Ah, great. Come on. Go. Go away. Oh, there we go. No, we got payday too. What do we get? Let's see. Payday, Empire earnings. 71,000. Nice. We're doing really good. The briefcase courier. Okay. So it's like a boat mission here. So, like I was saying, like, people get it mixed up. So, like, robbery is when there's actual, like, when there's actual, like, physical confrontation, like, present. So when there's threat, when the robber actually interacts with the victim, threatens them, basically forces them to comply, that's a robbery at that point. Burglary and just theft, it's just basically taking stuff, like, of people without them noticing. So, like, a theft, you know, a theft might not always be a burglary. Like, a theft might be, like, you look away for a second, and, like, somebody will, like, grab your purse or something like that, or grab a woman's purse, or, somebody might, like, take your phone. Something like that. Like, that is, you know, that's a perfect example of theft. Burglary is breaking into a house, or some kind of property. It's breaking into some kind of property, trespassing, attempting to steal stuff on that property. And, okay, I can just probably, yeah, this is the nice thing about, Vice City stories, that you can actually swim in this game. Look, I can swim. You know, Liberty City stories, you couldn't swim.
The boat.
Stop the courier's vehicle. Okay, we can stop them, no problem. Now, a burglary can turn into a robbery if there's ends up being a confrontation, but if there's no confrontation, it just stays as a okay, probably better to go here. It just stays then as a burglary. But robbery is always worse than burglary. Oh, looks like they got a few boats protecting them too.
Bye-bye. More of this, less of you.
I'm surprised they didn't snipe the driver there. Okay. I don't want to blow the boat up because I don't know what's gonna happen if I do. That boat looks a lot faster. I guess we're changing boats then. Let's get rid of these guys.
If it's all gone down, that means you're dead. Me?
What's...
Fight? Sure, okay.
Okay, get back to our business easy. We got the dock right next to the business, which makes it really easy here. What I really like that about Vice City Stories, I like that in Vice City Stories that you can actually, yeah, that you can actually swim. Oh, come on, back up, boat. The money truck, okay. And now here's something I'll tell you about robberies also, since, you know, we're covering this illegal business in the game. The vast majority of robberies in real life, they are not committed by, they're not committed by experts. That's the thing. When you watch, like, movies and you play video games, whenever you think of, like, robbers, usually it's, like, you know, experts. Like, you know, people like in the movie Heat, like, that movie. That's, like, experts. You know, people that, have been doing that for years, that, you know, are very well informed on it. You know, they're pretty bad people. But the point that I'm making is that they know what they're doing. So they've been doing that for a long time, and they're doing it primarily for money. Now, now you're probably thinking, so somebody does robberies not primarily for money? Yes. I'll explain. I'm gonna get rid of the escort car first because they're gonna give me problems. Yeah. Okay, so now what I was saying is that when you have people rob banks, like the type of people in GTA 5, like, you know, think of, like, Michael, Trevor, and, like, you know, and Franklin. You know, typically when people like that, you know, when they rob, like, you know, something, like, they're gonna hit something... They're gonna rob something big, typically. And, oh, and my business is right here. And they plan it out well, in advance. They know what they're doing. They have, like, a whole strategy on it. Now, the vast majority of robbers in real life are not those kinds of people. The vast majority of robbers in real life are people that, you know, are oftentimes really poor. They don't know what they're doing. They're oftentimes also drug addicts. So, a lot of robberies and burglaries are actually traced to drug addicts. And the reason that drug addicts are very prone to committing robberies and burglaries is because they're addicted to drugs. And so they constantly want money to feed their illegal habit. And so they think of a robbery or burglary as a quick way to get cash. And so that's why a lot of robbers and burglars are drug addicts. You know, you don't really have those type of, like, you know, experts that you do, like in movies and games. They do exist, don't get me wrong. They do. Like, the type of people, like, in GTA, like, those types of guys that, like, plan everything out, they're there. But they're few in number. The vast majority are, you know, people that, you know, they will, like, knock over, like, as Lester says, like, a liquor store. Like, that's at most what they will do. Like, you don't really have, like, people, like, you know, jumping, like, armored trucks or, like, you know, robbing banks, even though it does happen. Usually when somebody does something like that, they plan that well in advance. Okay, let's get this boat here. That was easy. So when somebody like robs a store, right, and gets away with it, if some idiot does that, usually the police can tell if they're dealing with like an expert or if they're dealing with somebody that has like never done this before and has like no idea what they're doing. And the very easy way to tell that, how do you tell that? Is you simply look at what they stole. If all they stole was just money from the cash register, then those people are new at it. They don't know what they're doing. They're not experts. Because when somebody holds up a store and they know what they're doing, do you know what they're really gonna rob? They're not gonna rob the cash register. Do you know what they're gonna rob? They're gonna rob the safe in the back. Because most stores keep their money in safes at the back. That's where the majority of the money is. It's usually like in an office or some room that's locked in the back. That's where they keep, a lot of their money in cash before they deposit in the bank. That's usually where, registers will be cleaned out, like, multiple times, like, a day. So, like, if a register hits a certain amount of money, they're gonna clean that register out, and then they're gonna put that in the safe, and that's gonna pile up, and they're gonna take the money from the safe, and they're just gonna take it to the bank, to cash it in. But they're gonna keep large amounts of cash in, like, the back room. And so, like, stop the courier's vehicle. What's... Already? Like, I didn't even get out of my business, and I'm getting attacked here. Like, what the hell is going on? What?
Go fuck yourself! Hey, I got a rodeo to get to! Well, shit!
Oh my god, this is so annoying. Like, it's like, look, I can't even leave the street. Oh, great. Wow, look at this. This is disgusting. I can't even get out of my business. That's how stupid that was. That was stupid. That was dumb. Like who
I got a new hi-fi, sweet.
who honestly thought that was like a good idea? That like you can't even get out of your business and you're getting attacked already. The briefcase courier. Okay. Gonna try this again now. Hopefully this isn't a disaster. So, what I was saying earlier is that these idiots, when they rob a store, they think that in the store when they rob a cash register, they think the cash register is gonna have like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in it. When at most the cash register is gonna have a few $100s, sometimes even less than $100. And so these criminals are just really stupid. And that's actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing. Most criminals are idiots. That's actually a good thing. Because if a lot more criminals were smarter, there'd be a lot of more problems to deal with. So because criminals are oftentimes so stupid, they get easily caught. Damn, Okay, let's get this over here. Oh, great. Oh, wonderful.
This is very annoying.
Great. This is just a really bad situation right now. This is a really bad situation that I'm in right now.
Yup, next time,
You're going to jail.
come on, no! I like how there's a bunch of criminals chasing me with AK-47s and the cops are all just focused on me. Ah, get out of the way! Oh, ooh. Oh, Heist Master now. I hope my cosplay there didn't really scare anyone. I just wanted to, you know, dress up as the characters in the game. But, that's the final business that I was gonna, that I, you know, covered right there. And, like I was saying, you know, I just wanted to cover this thing. You know, a lot of you guys wonder why I talk so much, like, about crimes and stuff like that, you know, when I'm playing these, things, is because when I went to college, you know, I graduated 2 years ago, I went to college for law enforcement technology, so I was originally gonna be, like, I originally wanted to be a police detective, or possibly even be a prosecutor one day. And so, like, I know a lot of, like, crimes, like, you know, what they detail, and, like, I know a lot about things about the law and stuff, but, you know, just basically what I was saying is most criminals are idiots, thank God. You know, these idiots will, you know, they'll rob a store. They'll think that they'll think that there's gonna be like thousands of dollars in the register when the register only has just a few $100s in it. The real money is gonna be in the safe in the back. But most criminals, they don't know that. They think that the register holds all of the money. But like that's how the police know when they're dealing with somebody that's an expert. Because if the person then marches the staff to the back room and robs the safe, that's when they know that they're dealing with somebody that's done this before and is familiar with that. And that also might be somebody that's familiar with the layout of the store. They might have been in there before. They might have been casing it out, because that's what criminals oftentimes do. They will actually case out stores. So they'll actually walk around the store. That was actually the one thing that was kind of realistic in GTA 5, when, like, Michael went to the jewelry store and he was kind of, like, casing it out, looking around inside. You know, that was that. But they're not going to do it, like, within, like, just a few days, like in GTA 5. Usually they do it, like, a month later, or maybe even several months after, because the police would just be checking footage in, like, the last week on, like, who was in that store. But then they'd have to go through, like, hundreds of people if they do it, like, many months later. And they probably would, and the store probably wouldn't have the footage of that, because most stores, they will delete their camera footage within, like, a month. So, like, 28 days, it'll delete the footage. But, you know, that's pretty much that. But I'm going to say robbers are some of the worst types of people out there. You know, these are some of the worst criminals, because they target, you know, innocent people all the time. You know, they specifically target innocent people all the time. And, you know, it's kind of weird me giving advice on, like, you know, a GTA video game playthrough. But if you want to minimize, like, the chances of somebody, like, robbing you, the first thing that I'll say is, do not listen to music when you're, like, walking around, especially at night. Because of what a lot of people will do is they'll listen to their earbuds. They'll listen to music and stuff like that where they're walking around the streets at night. And so that makes them oblivious to their surroundings. And so they're not going to see if somebody's sneaking up on them or somebody's getting close to them. Somebody could come up behind you, knock you out from behind. So that's, you know, I don't want to scare people. But, you know, there's some things that I wanted to say. Another thing is, avoid shopping at night if you can. I know there's a lot of stores that are open 24 hours, and I'm kind of a hypocrite for saying this because I go to the store sometimes late at night when I forget things. But try to minimize it, because at nighttime, that is when you are much more likely to be the victim of a crime at night. On top of that, always park in a well-lit area. Park in areas that are well lit, where there's a lot of lighting, because criminals, they like areas where there's not a lot of lighting in it. Park as close as you can to the door. And one place where criminals always oftentimes attack people is parking lots of stores. They will watch stores, 24-hour stores or stores that are open a bit later, and they'll wait until somebody comes out, and then they'll actually ambush them, like, right at their car. When they see somebody's putting a lot of groceries in their car, they know that person has, like, a lot of money to spend, and so they'll try to rob that person. Park as close as you can to the door, and if you have to literally go at night, park in the well-lit areas. Also, any area that's, like, around a camera. Like, I've noticed that, like, in my area, for instance, the police put up, like, these big yellow, like, kind of like camera lights right in the Walmart parking lot, and it says, like, you know, police department right on top of it. And so these are cameras the police have, and yet what happens is this is a deterrent to criminals. Like, a deterrent is basically something that a criminal sees, like a police presence or a police camera, and they think, you know, they're not going to commit a crime here because the risk is too great. Criminals have, like, a risk factor when they look at, like, crimes. They have, like, they think, like, you know, what is the reward that I could get for this? And then they think, like, you know, what's the possible consequences? If the consequences are too great, there's too much of a risk, they're usually going to back off. But like I said, most most criminals are idiots. Most of the criminals, especially the robbers, are idiots. Like the people that are experts in this, like, you know, the people that rob banks and stuff like that, the people that, like, you know, hit armored trucks, these are rare. Like, the majority of robbers are stupid, and they're usually drug addicts. So these people are very unstable. And so you don't know how these people can act, and that's, you know, what's just really scary about it. So I don't want to, you know, freak anybody out, but I thought I'd add that into the video if I'm, like, you know, going to talk about, like, you know, robberies and, you know, how they work and stuff like that. You know, give a little bit of law information on that too. You know, talk about some things to help people, like, you know, minimize their risks. But, you know, I don't want to scare anybody, but just so, like, you know, because, like, you never know. And, you know, people say all the time, I live in a nice neighborhood, it's not going to happen to me. You don't know that. A robber can be anywhere. Robbers, they will target any neighborhood. You know, people like these, they don't care if it's a rich neighborhood, it's a poor neighborhood, or middle-class neighborhood. They will target any neighborhood. But just, you know, keep that in mind. People think, oh, you know, I live in a nice neighborhood, it's not going to happen to me. You know, my neighborhood, for instance, you know, had 3 burglaries in 1 week. And I live in I would say I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. This neighborhood is all brand new, last 3 years, buildings. So just, you know, keep that in mind, you know, the things that I said. So I hope you guys enjoyed this playthrough of Vice City Stories, and I hope I gave a little bit of advice there. But I also talked about all the other crimes, like I talked about drugs and like smuggling and all that other stuff on my other videos. Like if you guys want to watch that, I'll have that playlist linked at the end. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And now that this series is over, you know what that means? That means that I can do the Vice City Stories lore videos. The lore videos are coming up, as well as a playthrough of Vice City. So I will have a playthrough of Vice City coming up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this series. If you did, do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone.